I want you to practice something. And I want you to use one of your bigger rounds. I think a 14 would be good. I want you to do two things. I want you to do leaf shapes. This is so basic. It always, I don't know, it's not boring to me. I don't know if it'll gonna be boring to you. Okay, just mix up a puddle of color, any color you want. I have a kind of an orange here. It's Queen Gold. Nice juicy puddle. You can mix it, you know, of anything you've got going on already on your palette. I don't care what color it is. Let's start with some leaf shapes. You are blotting your brush first, and you're holding your brush almost vertical to the page. You're going to oppose the page and get a wide stroke. You're dragging it up away from the base. You want enough paint in your brush that your base is going to be pretty big. You can sploosh around a little bit so you get a bigger base than your tip. I want you to get used to putting more pressure on your brush for your beginning stroke and dragging your brush away from that beginning stroke up to a point. And your point should be a nice, delicate point. I don't have enough value in this for you to see it properly, so let me just grab some more blue. Now, it's kind of boring if you just have all these shapes that are, well, first of all, I think I'm incapable of making every shape the same. But now let's talk about this stroke and how handy it is to have mastered just the thick, thin part of this stroke. Thick, thin, press harder, thick, thinner. As you drag, it becomes narrower and narrower up to a fine point. This is a lovely thing. You already know this. You need to learn to practice it all the time. You need to use it to get effects that you want. Now, what happens if I want that leaf to be doing something in the wind other than just hanging out? So I do a start and I do that, or I do a whoops. And I can come back and clean up part of it. That's fine. That's within the rules. But look at the elegant, elegant leaf shapes I'm getting. Gorgeous leaf shapes. Remember I said follow the contour of the leaf when you're doing the veining? Okay, look at this leaf. Now that's not a straightforward leaf, but look at what happens when I follow the contour. Let me go over this one because it's already too dry. Remember I said that these are the opposing veins. They insert into the main vein at the same place. Sometimes they're alternate. You have to know that to make it look realistic. You have to do this leaf by leaf. Mix more paint. So do it while it's wet. Follow the contour of the leaf that you've created. Pay attention to where the ancillary veins insert into the main vein. That's important if you want realism. Introduce a stem. Same thing that we've been doing so that your stem You start away from the leaf and introduce to the leaf, and you get a little glow of what's happening in the leaf, a little darker paint. You could do a whole page of these and end up with so many different leaves. Let's think of different shaped leaves. All right, oops. Well, let's just use that blob of paint. I haven't taken my brush up too much, but now I have a different kind of leaf. A lobed leaf. Incidentally, the King Art brushes are just absolutely ideal for this kind of exercise because they come to that beautiful point. Let's do a different kind of leaf entirely. And let's just make the edges what they call erose. E-R-O-S-E. So you're dragging paint out. Different kind of leaf. Insert a stem. Alternate veins. Leaves that are lobed, usually the lobes are symmetrical and the veins that insert into the lobes are all emanate from the, not alternately, but at the same point on the main stem. So I would like you to practice this for about 10 minutes. Just leaves, all different kinds of shapes. I don't care what colors you use. I want you just to get a feel for using your brush, thick, thin strokes. I like leaves to practice on because I like doing it with objects rather than just thick, thin strokes. Although if you like thick, thin strokes, you could do that too. But I love to do it with leaves because it's gonna end up being something practical for you, which I like getting two purposes out of my actions. Let me get a good bit of paint here. This is drying so fast. All right, this is a big brush. This is a 16. I blot. I oppose the paper. I'm almost vertical. I press down and I drag up from the puddle that I've made. I do that many times. Oppose the brush, press down, drag up and out of that puddle. Do it time after time. Vary the stroke so you get something dynamic happening with your leaf. If you want veins that express that direction, do it while it's wet. And make that center vein first stroke and let it follow how the leaf has undulated. Push down. You can sploosh your brush around a bit. I actually can do this for a long time. I've changed this as I've gone along, so that lots of these are a blue-green and this last batch is a yellow-green. I just changed the formula a bit, a little more yellow in this one, a little more blue in this one, a little more blue in this one. That's kind of fun to do while you're doing this. And it gives you a sense of how little it takes to change something from warm to cool, for instance.